What is going on here? Did it switch? Much love, my sister. Is there anything else?
No, I just said my piece, and I feel like the family understand exactly where I'm coming from.
Absolutely, my sister. I absolutely agree. Thank you for coming up, my sister.
You're welcome. Be blessed, baby.
You too. All right. Up next, we got our brother Jesse Paris got a few words to say. Go on, good brother.
Yes, sir. B1 salute. Salute to you. Salute to the chat. Salute to Miss Nisi. I agree wholeheartedly with what Miss Nisi said. They need a good old fashioned ass whooping. Um, yeah, that wouldn't have been allowed when we were children. No, you don't put yourself in a adult's place when you're a child unless you want serious problems, repercussions, and consequences. Uh-uh. These kids, they need a good old fashioned ass whooping. I've had situations where I felt like I had to discipline the damn kids because the
Mhm.
damn parents didn't want to do nothing, and they sit up there and want to try to argue with you, talking about don't tell me how to raise my child, don't tell me how to discipline my child. You need to discipline your goddamn child. That's the goddamn problem. These kids ain't getting the discipline that we got.
Mhm.
Just for saying what to our parents, we get smacked.
Just for giving a look.
Just for giving a look or saying what, like they call your name and you say what, smack. Like
Yep.
they play that. Your teeth to be you be picking your teeth up off the floor.
No smacking your teeth.
No
Don't
smack.
be closing no doors.
Nope.
Don't don't let her hear a slam door. Damn, closing the door. Don't slam a door. You
That's
close a door and you gonna get, man. They just don't understand that this is how unacceptable this is, especially for people who grew up in the way we grew up.
right. So I agree with you. Like line them all up. All them kids need their ass whooped. The parents need their ass whooped for not doing nothing about this, for raising these little heathens, these little savages. Like, nah, like you said, there's some people that need to be in jail. They need to go to juvenile hall. They need to learn what they did was wrong and not to do it again.
Absolutely, my good brother. Is there anything else?
Just check out Frontline Black News, y'all. Y'all know where to find us at.
Much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for coming up. Family, thank you, Miss Nisi and Jesse, for coming up and giving their 2 cents on it. And since you guys gave your 2 cents on it, I don't need to play this next clip because it was better to have you guys come up and actually give your sense on this as well. So we'll move on because this has been a very triggering segment here. Let's get into a less triggering segment, if you will. Letitia James is back in the media. Let's go here, family. Judge tosses DOJ's lawsuit challenging a New York law barring immigration agents from state courts. Let's get into this, family. Shout out to our sister Empress Latessa in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. As well as Coctavius. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. And Mac 28531. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you all. Let's continue. Let's get into this article. And it's a short article. A judge has dismissed a Trump administration's legal challenge to New York policy that block immigration officers from arresting people at state courthouses, saying the federal government can't force states to cooperate with those enforcement efforts. U.S. District Judge May D'Agostino. I'm just going to say, it is what it is on that name. The Augustine, Augustino, excuse me, late Monday, granted New York motion to dismiss the government's lawsuit, excuse me. One of several legal actions from the Republican administration targeting state and local policies over immigration enforcement. The lawsuit challenged a 2020 state law banning federal immigration officials from arresting people who are coming and going from New York courthouses or in court for proceedings unless they have a warrant signed by a judge. Interesting. The law, called the Protect Our Courts Act, interesting, was approved in was approved in response to enforcement actions at courthouses during President Donald Trump's first term. The law doesn't cover federal immigration courts. In its lawsuit, the Department of Justice claimed that the New York law and two related state executive orders were was unconstitutional because they obstructed the execution of federal immigration authorities. Well, family, I can almost guarantee you the DOJ is going to appeal this. I don't understand why these people have no problem going the long route and fighting the hardest for a bunch of people that can't vote for them, that can't support them as candidates, can't support them as senators, DAs, all this stuff. You go in there and try to pass a bill where you passed a bill saying that they can't go to the courthouse to pick up these people, but yet you don't mind police officers taking citizens from the courthouse. You don't mind police officers arresting citizens at the courthouse without any type of warrant. When their job calls for them to do a job, you don't stop them in their tracks in order to protect your citizens. This is just another reason why the Democratic Party is, as a whole, is just sinking and sinking and sinking. It ain't even sinking in the dirt. It's sinking in the toilet. It's going through the poop chute tubes, okay? The sewage. Because it acts like this. This just reminds me of when Cory Booker stood on the floor and filibustered for 24 hours. All four illegals have never not once filibustered to get an anti-Black hate crime bill, never not once filibustered for 24 hours for reparations, never not once filibustered to get any type of policies for Black Americans at all. Hell no. But I could stand behind a pulpit and talk a bunch of nonsense for 24 hours for a bunch of people that can't even vote for you. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. You can't. The math don't math. Shout out to Mr. Ishmael. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Shalom, good family. Shout out to our sister, Key Prince, once again. They're done in my book. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And really, they're making it worse for themselves for the 2026. They're making it absolutely worse for 2026. Family, I want to show you some of the stuff that they're trying to fight to keep here. Let's go here.
Secretary, this ICE situation, ICE arresting a man from Uzbekistan earlier this month while he was driving a commercial truck in Kansas. DHS says this 31-year-old Akhwar Bozorov was led into the country by Joe Biden's administration. He was wanted in Uzbekistan in 2022 for alleged ties to terrorism. He was granted work authorization in the United States in early 2024. His commercial driver's license was issued in Pennsylvania. And the photo that DHS released even shows him having a real ID, Secretary. You've gone after California for issuing 17,000 commercial driver's licenses to illegals. Is it time to federalize CDL certifications? What are you doing here? And I mean, it's just astounding to me that someone who was tied to terrorism in Uzbekistan actually got a license to drive a commercial vehicle in Kansas.
Yeah, so first off, it goes to show you that Joe Biden and his administration didn't do any background checks on who was coming into the country. They offered them asylum and they offered them work authorizations and then allowed them to go out and get commercial driver's licenses and operate on American roads, endangering American citizens. And so we have had new rules that have come out to say, you know what, we're going to tighten this up. If you come legally, you have a visa or you're coming from one state to another, you can get what's called a non-domiciled CDL. These are the licenses that these foreigners are using. But to tighten up the rules means we're going to have more safety on American roads. But you mentioned 17,000 from California. We think other states have also issued many illegally commercial driver's licenses. There were 200,000 non-domiciled CDLs issued to foreigners.
Wow.
We think 194,000 of them were issued illegally.
Oh my goodness.
And would not comply with our new rule. And so again, you've aired these crashes, Maria.
Yeah.
They're horrific. When people can't understand the English language, they can't read signs, and they don't know the rules of our road.
Terrible.
That's a problem. Americans aren't safe. And we also see that there's CDL mills, commercial driver's license mills, where people aren't being properly trained. They're being pushed through, getting licenses, and then again, driving across the country.
Unbelievable.
If I can make one last point, Maria.
Yeah.
It's driving American truckers out of business.
Good point.
And American trucking companies driving the wages down. That's not why we're taking this action, but that's a real consequence of having all these foreigners come in.
That's a great
point. What we're going to do is see those wages rise, and it's still a good paying job in America to be an American truck driver.
Secretary, let me.
Family, they need to just go ahead in every single sanctuary state, because really in every single state, damn sanctuary states, because, even in Republican states too, there's some backdoor stuff going on with these illegals, but they need to just, go ahead and federalize this requirement. That's what should happen. You need to make sure that these folks that are getting these licenses aren't illegals. Just like how y'all got one for every business is supposed to, the E-Verify? You're supposed to be verified. You need to be verifying these people through a federal goddamn organization, a federal agency, before they're able to get these kind of licenses. Before they're able to get anything, they shouldn't be getting. From housing to Medicare to food stamps. All this is supposed to be under some sort of, you got to have some sort of background check. And the thing about these programs is that they'll take the federal funds, but they distribute them through the cities and counties. And so technically, it isn't really a federal program. So we have to do something in order to make sure, in order to continue to receive federal funding, everybody who's going through getting these benefits have to go through this system to make sure that they're not an illegal. Every single person. And that should go for the DMV as well. Shout out to our good brother William Eric in the building. Much love to you, my brother. Shalom. Thank you for being here. Family, these folks are basically just supporting criminality. That's what's happening. These folks are out here quite literally supporting criminality. But then want to turn around and talk about crime. Family, do you know these these nonprofits, they're facilitating child trafficking. That's what's actually happening. Let's go here, family.
This is what the American people voted for because they saw 4 years of the carnage that these open border policies plagued on the United States. And we're talking about the NGOs that they used as middlemen to carry out their operations, like the Catholic charities they used to facilitate, normalize, and accelerate illegal immigration into this country. Ms. Hopper, you've worked closely with trafficking victims and survivors. I'd like to explore the role that the NGOs have played in enabling the trafficking and exploitation of unaccompanied alien children. Under the last administration, what safeguards were put in place to protect vulnerable unaccompanied children?
I previously discussed the post-placement welfare checks, which consisted of 2 phone calls. Again, if the sponsor didn't answer, the case was no longer followed up on. But there was also a notice of concern hotline where people could report concerns about the unaccompanied child's safety. But what this administration found was from August 2023 to January of 2025, 65,000 calls went unanswered. Those calls spanned from, complaints about stale bread all the way to being abused, to one case where a child's call was reporting that grown men were coming into his room at night and they were touching him. Nothing happened with that call. That call went unanswered until this administration took office, went through those 65,000 calls, made follow-ups, conducted a welfare check, and now that child has been rescued and that sponsor has been arrested. These are the safeguards that were put in place, but accountability and oversight was not had.
65,000 calls went unanswered of children who were unaccompanied being abused. And nothing happened. I don't even know how to even address that, to be honest with you. So you traffic these children here because that's really what it is. These children have been trafficked into America. And then you create a hotline for these children so that they can, how do you say, report their abuse. And then you turn around and not even answer or call back. Yeah, I'm not co-signing that at all. All these children, and this is going to sound harsh, all those children should have been sent back home. Y'all need to make a deal with their government. Hey, there's a bunch of unaccompanied minors here. We're not taking them in, so we're sending them back to you. If you say you don't want to take them back in, then guess what? I'm going to have to send them over to the nearest country that'll take them. And we'll make sure that they're good. We'll send a couple of bucks to make sure that they can eat, to make sure that they can freaking house themselves or whatever. But yeah, they're not staying here. And they shouldn't. Shout out to Leonard De Yuda in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Shout out to Empress Lattès. Bringing a child to the border gave these criminals guaranteed interest through our borders. Many children were kidnapped from wherever they came from. And you're absolutely correct. And you're absolutely correct. The fact of the matter is, they gave those type of people priority too. That should have never happened. But let's move on to this next clip, family. Because, like I said, these are the people that they're trying to fight to keep in the country. If you thought Ian Roberts was bad, the African dude who was an illegal who became a superintendent, even though they're saying, oh, they're not out there taking black jobs. Illegals aren't taking black jobs, and you got a goddamn illegal sitting as a superintendent. Oh, if you thought that was bad, family, this gets worse. How the hell, and I'm going to ask you this, family, how in the hell do you have an illegal become a mayor of a city? Let me ask that again. How do you have an illegal become a mayor of a city? You think I'm bullshitting? Oh, no. Let's go here. Shout out to Willie McKinley in the building. Much love to you, as well as our good brother Wild Williams in the building. Much love to the both of you. Thank you for being here. Shalom. Let's go here, family.
This is the mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, and he's not even a U.S. citizen. Jose Ceballos. How did they find out his immigration status? Is when he went to apply for U.S. citizenship this past February. And because no one challenged his status, his U.S. status, his immigration status at the time of running for mayor, he's not being charged with that. So he's being charged for voter fraud. 3 consecutive years of voter fraud, voting illegally, 2022, 2023, 2024. And they told us you have to be a U.S. citizen to hold these type of positions, but they're not even checking for your immigration status. And when you go vote, all you got to check is a box if you're a U.S. citizen or if you're not a U.S. citizen. So Scout's honor, you telling me someone's going to have integrity like this individual who been elected a mayor and didn't even disclose his immigration status when he ran for mayor. In Kansas, they have home rule, which gives the cities, the towns discretion of which direction they want to take this. And they're allowing Jose Ceballos to serve out his term, which is remaining 2 months. He have 2 months. They're allowing him to still remain in office while all this plays out. So he's facing 5 years, and I want to say up to $200,000 in fines. But yeah, Scout's honor, check box if you're legal or not legal, if you're citizen or not citizen. Oh, this is what the Kansas Attorney General had to say, Chris.
First part, our system right now is based on trust. Trust that when the person signed the registration or signs the poll books saying that he's a qualified elector or that he is a United States citizen, that the person is telling the truth.
We reached out to Mayor Ceballos for comment, but have not heard back yet. The Coldwater City Council, though, released a statement on social media saying the mayor called them in for a special meeting over the noon hour to, quote, discuss recent events that have transpired with the Kansas Attorney General's office. While the recent allegations involving the mayor are understandably concerning, we will allow the proper legal process to take its course before making any further comments, unquote. Ceballos is expected to be in court for his first appearance on December 3rd.
Shout out to Maine. Thank you for being here. That is highly embarrassing, especially for the Democrats, because they've been running around here saying the illegals aren't voting. Not only is he being charged with voter fraud for voting for 3 damn years, he made it to be a goddamn mayor, and they're letting him serve out his term. Don't tell me that these illegals ain't coming over here getting our jobs when you goddamn got a goddamn sitting mayor who's a goddamn illegal himself. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense. They're operating off the honor system. And I played a video on this channel in a previous broadcast where I was showing a man going to vote, and he was trying to give them his ID card, and they refused to take it. They kept saying, we can't take that. We can't take that. And he's like, why? How do you know if I'm a citizen if you don't take my ID card? All you have to do is give us your address and your voter number. No. You're making this more difficult. Take my ID. And because they have the trust me, bro, law in effect, because that's basically what it boils down to. Oh, we'll trust you, bro. All you got to do is tell us that you're a citizen. Now you got a sitting mayor that can't be put out of office because the people in the damn town say, you know what, just let him finish out his term. No, I'd have been calling for him to be not just locked up, but locked the fuck up. Shout out to our brother William Aaron. He said, not only are they voting, they're winning seats. Should we repeal the 1965 Immigration Act at this point in time? I would absolutely have to say yes. Unequivocally, we'll have to say yes. Because this is ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous as hell. Shout out to Shabazz, American Freeman in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Let's go here, family, because these folks want us to be outraged that ICE is out here taking these people away when we're seeing what's supposed to be happening. This isn't something that's our fight. These folks knew they were in the country illegally. These folks knew absolutely, and in case I didn't give a shout out to our good brother Leonard De Yuda in the building, much love to you, shalom. But these folks know that this has nothing to do with us. So they're trying to gaslight us into going out and protecting these people. There's this dude, and I'm about to play this clip. This dude is trying to gaslight us to go and fight for those illegals. Not only fight for those illegals, but go fight ICE to keep the illegals here. He's saying, well, hey, since y'all killing each other anyway, y'all should stop killing each other and point those guns at ICE. Shout out to our good brother Weenie Ilan Omar. Ill-hearted Omar gone too. Absolutely. And preferably first, get her ass up out of here as soon as possible. And everybody in that community with her, shit they ass the hell out. But let's go over here. I want y'all to see what this man has to say. You gangs, y'all need to stop pointing at each other and start pointing them at the ICE agents, as if these aren't federal officers doing their damn job. Shout out to our good brother Still Kevin Trees in the building. Much love to you. Let's go here, family.
Hey, look though, right? I see the whole city is on fire with the ICE shit going on. I see they in the town, they out there, they harassing people, all that. This is a message to all you niggas that be posting all them guns and always up on this Instagram on that gangster shit. Y'all go ahead, click up, and all that shooting y'all be wanting to do to each other, go take it out on them. All them switches and Dracos and ARPs and goddamn bombs and shit y'all niggas be posting and all that gangster shit, go get on that gangster shit with the ICE. That's all I'm saying, bro. Right now is the time, bro. They out there, bro. Go put the shiesties on, put the mask on, and go get them, bro. It's wartime. That's what y'all want. Y'all want to go to war. Y'all want to blow niggas' ass off. Go blow their ass off, bro. Go. They out there. Go now. Get the switches, the Dracos, all the shit y'all posting in the music videos. Go use the shit. Go get on Gangsta Town. Go. Hey, look though, right?
To all that's listening under the sound of my voice, let me say this and say this clear. Don't listen to this tether, because I got the tether vibes on as well. It hit me hard as soon as he started talking like this. Don't go out there trying to do anything like that. It does not affect your community in a positive way by doing so. And it won't affect you in a positive way. Let's be very clear. This is a man that don't give no shits about us. He wants us to go out and go to war with a federal agency over a bunch of people who broke into the country illegally. He wants you to go and commit crimes to protect the people who committed crimes. Yeah, hell no. That's idiotic in itself. 100% fold. Exactly. A straight up agent. A straight up agent. Shout out to William. He said, why are the ones always talking shit hiding behind sunglasses? Because they don't want you to see who they are. I'm pretty sure he don't want to be roasted. That's, and I want to know why he got on these Ultimate Warrior glasses. That's more of a question for me. It ain't the fact he hiding his face. I just want to know why he chose the Ultimate Warrior glasses. Exactly, my sister. He looks Haitian to me too. Absolutely. That was my first guess. My first guess was Haitian. Shout out to Nightfall and DSA1 in the building. Much love to the both of you. Shalom, family. Shalom. Thank you both for being here. Let's go here, family, because I want to show you why we ain't tripping. Because it actually benefits us. Let me show you this work site. Let's go here.
Ain't no Migos working today. They probably ain't coming back to work. Them people is not playing, boy. I don't know when this school gonna get built now, y'all. They ain't playing in Charlotte. I tell you that right now.
Do you guys hear that? Yeah, me neither. This job right here, there's about 3 people working currently. It's just sad, man. It's really sad. Not one single person in sight.
No, Jorge. That's sad for you, sir. It's sad for you. It's not sad for us. Why? Because there's a whole lot of new openings. Hey, is there anybody out there that needs a job? Because it looks like this work site could use some new workers. Shout out to our brother Ian Will. He said those are glasses from the new principals wear at on South Park. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I forget the dude's name. I'm spacing on his name, Mr. PC or something like that. Mr. Politically Correct or something. But yeah, that's hilarious. That is a hilarious comparison. Those are exactly the glasses that man wears. So, hey, FBAs. There's some jobs available. If y'all want them. Anybody in construction out there? Because there's some openings. Jorge don't like it. And you can tell that he don't like it because he's about to get real condescending at the end of this damn video. Let's continue.
It's crazy, man. A lot of people don't realize how this affects the economy so much. I mean, who's going to finish building this building if everyone that is capable of doing it is getting taken?
Everybody who's capable of doing it isn't getting taken. Illegals are getting taken. The people who are capable of doing it are citizens. And guess what? If you put out an article saying that you're hiring, then guess what? You're going to have citizens up in there doing the same damn job because we've been capable. How do you think we've been building stuff before you illegals even got here? Leave the workers alone. This job should be filled right now. Then hire American citizens, damn it, and pay them what they're worth. Construction is a damn hard job. So you make sure that you get you some construction workers and pay them what they're worth so that job can be done properly.
On the bright side, for those that are okay with it, come work. There's a lot of positions that need to be filled and long hours and no AC, no heat. We'll be waiting.
You see how condescending that little bastard just tried to be? Oh, positions need to be filled, you know, no AC, no heat. We'll be waiting for you. Yeah, people have worked in places without heat and without AC for decades. If you pay them correctly. And you don't need no AC and you don't need no heat because you're building a building. There's open air flowing through there all day, all night because the building isn't finished. I haven't drywalled it. You haven't did anything. Shout out to our sister Cooking with Miss D. She said, that's your fault. No one else to blame. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, my sister. Miss D said, FBA is losing jobs in California because we don't speak Spanish. Exactly. This is the most egregious stuff ever. You come to our country and the damn corporations is catering to people who speak a different language. And then they try to say, well, it's because they have a skill. Being bilingual is a skill. No, being bilingual isn't a skill. If you come from a different country and you speak Spanish, that's not a skill. If you come from a different country and you speak any language, that's not a skill. That is your country's origin. That is your original tongue. In America, we're supposed to be representing the people who use our native tongue, who speak our language. It's supposed to cater to us. Shout out for this comment, my sister. That's a fantastic statement there because it's true. That's why I'm glad Trump made English the official language. Get their asses up out of here. I want to go over to this sister because this sister has some fire to speak. So I'm going to let her cook.
Where's the outrage for the Americans? Where's the outrage for our American children? Here we have ICE on the street doing their federally obligated fucking duty. And you see Marie in the back talking about, oh my God, why dare you, fuck you racist? Why are you taking him? You take him as a family. Fuck your family. What about my family? What about my family? You came in here in droves. You walked in my house and tried to rearrange it. I'm supposed to adapt to you? Absolutely not. My daughter got in the car yesterday and said, Mom, I was able to breathe in the corridors at school. My children didn't even get to experience the type of high school that I had, where we had 2 15-minute breaks and a 55-minute lunch, and we were able to go off campus. Theirs is 20 minutes because they have an influx of students they're trying to feed. Get them in, get them out, quick. I dropped off my son in the drop-off line today, and it was 8 cars as opposed to 85. You know how much stress that is for these fucking children, all these fucking people? Get out! And I remember last year, my son was a senior. He said, Mom, in math class, we couldn't even learn math because the teachers would spend half half of the period trying to teach Edgar how to say fucking hello. When you have such an influx of people coming into one country, there's going to be hiccups. So yeah, ICE might pick up illegal by accident. You better carry your papers. Thank the fucking Democrats for keeping the border open. Thank you for these motherfucking legals who try to come in here and do this shit the shiesty way. That's what happens when you do shit the wrong way. I have no sympathy or empathy for you. Not at all. If it was that easy to become a U.S. citizen, everybody would fucking do it, but it's not. Welcome to life, motherfucker.
Family, was she wrong? Was she wrong at all? I don't think she was wrong. And shout out to Still Kevin Trees with this one, because he says that FBA mutant energy. Goddamn, yeah. Yeah, she came in like Storm. You know what I mean? And she brought the whirlwind with her. Nobody can bring the whirlwind but like our sister Hurricane Niecy, though, but just let you know. But yeah, she came with that energy. She had to cook up something, and that's why I had to give her the platform to do so. Shout out to that sister, because she said everything that we've been saying in the community. And she stood on business while doing so. And I like the fact that her wig actually matched. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cricket wig like Jasmine Crockpot. And speaking of Jasmine Crockpot, we got to get into this next segment before we end off here. Shout out to our sister Mrs. L in the building. Much love to you. My sister said she came in on an absolute mic drop. Absolutely, my sister. Because that sister cooked. Had to drop the mic on that one. But I want to talk about Jasmine Crockpot, because she's out here being the loudest right now, calling out the fact that Republicans don't want to release the Epstein files or whatever. And she's like, that's because they're going to basically get caught up in all of their shenanigans that they had with Jeffrey Epstein. So I want to talk about that for a minute, because the truth of the matter is, the Democrats are pointing the finger at Republicans. The Republicans are pointing the fingers at Democrats, and the Democrats, and they're looking like the goddamn Spider-Man picture with all the Spider-Mans pointing at each other. And they're trying to make, they say Epstein worked with Republicans. And then when you listen to the Republicans, they say Epstein, he was a Democrat. But when you have the research intact, you know damn well that Epstein dealt with both of them. Epstein funded both of them. He wasn't a Democrat. He was a financier who financed both of them. Let's go here.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly: Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review. This is absolutely ridiculous. You just folks who also took money.
Family, I find it very disingenuous that she named all those people, but she left out Stacey Plansky. She left out Senator Chuck Schumer. She left out Bill Clinton. She left out John Kerry. She left out Hillary Clinton. She left out Chris Dodd. She left out Joe Lindbergh. She left out Tim McMillan. She left out Jeff Bingaman. Oh, yeah, she's leaving some people out. What about Elliot Spencer? Huh? Are you going to forget that he even gave money to your Democratic, what is it called? The Democratic Committee Commission? And your senatorial commissions? Now, granted, the DCCC, they did within a few days give back the money that Epstein donated to him. They did send that back within days. But all these other folks, they didn't send the stuff back until after they got caught the hell up. And not even sent it back. They donated a portion. They donated the same amount that he donated to them to these different groups that fight against trafficking and fight for child protection, right? But they didn't do any of that until after they got caught. So it wasn't something where, people just were so disgusted that they had the money and they found out that the money came from Epstein. So they were so disgusted. No, they did not say nothing until they got called out for taking the money. Let's be very clear about that. Exactly, Damon. Epstein was a universal giver and pervert. This is a great, great comment because that's exactly what it is. But we're going to let the crock-pot Crockett get a couple more words in. Oh, man. Family, am I wrong? And this is just to the males in the chat. To all my brothers in the chat, let me know. I need to know. I got to ask this question. Jasmine Crockett ain't too fond on the eyes, is she? She's not really soft on the eyes, is she? Like, I look at Jasmine and I ask myself, what kind of man would want to lay with that? Pair this face with the personality, and I'm like, she might end up a cat lady. She might look like a cat lady to me. She might end up as one too. She might end up like our sister Erica Badu said. She might end up as a bad lady. Shout out to our brother Eric Johnson in the building. Much love to you, my good brother. He said, bet, side chick. There you go. I believe that as well. Still Kevin Tree says, I'm going to be nice and say she's seen better days. David said that forehead. I'm getting a soft one. Oh, hell. She looks better than most female politicians. Okay, I'm just saying, man, to each his own. Every time I see this woman's face, my stomach turns. I'm just being honest. Now, she does look better than a lot of other politicians. I'll give you that much. If someone put a gun to my head and told me to let either her or Marjorie Taylor Greene get some, I'd be like, all right, I'll reluctantly be like, come on, Jasmine. Let's go. I'm just being honest, though. He's a brave man. Eric said that's a goldfish collector. Shout out to Antithesis. I'm cool on that. If she wasn't a shield, I'll smash. She got a cute face, generally speaking, as this is a bad pick. It is a horrible pick. Well, it's actually a horrible clip because this is a video. And some big T test as so. Yep. Yeah. Big tatas, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I understand you. I ain't no judgment. I just have to ask the question. I'm a mind guy, then a body, then face. Hey, you and me both. I'm gonna need you to have some brains up there before that beauty starts shining to me. Because beauty fades real quickly when I hear a woman talk stupidity. Like, that's a pet peeve to me. If you're beautiful, but you're dumb as a box of rocks, we won't have a second date. EJ said, wear protection. Wear protection. Miss D said, predator in the making. Yeah, Neanderthal Marjorie. If it was between her and Neanderthal Marjorie, reluctantly, I gotta say, I would bring your ass on. Come on, Jasmine Crockpot. Let me beat the coon out of you. I have to tap them cheeks a little bit. Hopefully, when my job is done, I do such a great job. Well, I don't say hopefully. I do such a great job that maybe she'll, you know what I'm saying, push that coon into the side. You know what I mean? Maybe she'll take off the coonery. He's like, come on and pop it, Crockett. Shout out to you. Gently used, cooter over 1 million miles. 20,000, 2,000. $2,000. Okay. All right. He said, put the Cleveland Browns paper bag over her face. Shay, you gonna put the Cleveland Browns over your face, brother? Oh, man. And says she got janky ears. Oh, y'all just going the hell off. I thought that was the bottom. Y'all got so shit. I just scrolled all the way down. There's a lot going on here. Gork only for me. Okay. Let's let her say what she has to say. He said, I love Jesus. Oh, give her some D to remove the Democrat. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, give it to them good enough, you know what I mean, and let them know, you know, that was a one-time thing. You know, I really, you know, it was good for what it was, but I can't rock with no Democrat shield like that. Oh, baby, I'm not a shield anymore. I'm not. I'll call it like I see it. I'll represent the Black community. I promise. Yeah. All right, let's see how the next few weeks go before you get another taste of this. Let's see how the next few meetings go. Jasmine be in there talking on her best behavior. Well, you know, guys, the Black community really use some of those resources while we're paying attention to all these other groups. You know, it's unfair that, you know, all these, they'd be asking, Jasmine, where'd your sister girl routine go? Oh, that's behind me. Those days are behind me. My new man likes a lady. Oh, man. She gonna be the next Amanda Seals. Hey, out here talking blackity black, but this time it a stick because she want to keep the stick in her life. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Sometimes I just think that they really need somebody that can really drop it off on them and then let them know, like, look, I can't really be with you because, you know, you're a shield. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody who's really for the people. Let's go ahead and let her go.
What do you make of his change of direction when it comes to wanting to release the Epstein files?
Oh, I don't think that there's a change of direction. I mean, I think that they finally came up with whatever their scheme is going to be to make sure that he is quote unquote protected from, you know, all of his dirtiest secrets being revealed. But the reality is that we know that he's a nasty individual. We know that he's a creep. I mean, we knew this. They knew this when they voted for him the very first time and the second time, and for those that voted for him the third time, because we had the tape, the Hollywood Access tape, where he was talking about grabbing women by the pee. We had the lawsuits that have been filed against him, where he and Jeffrey Epstein were named together as being rapists. So, like, this is a matter of people just not wanting to see what's in front of them. It's amazing how people can come up with, you know, all kinds of stories on people they don't like and then ignore the truth about people that they do like. And I don't understand why they like him so much, because he clearly don't like them. Because when 42 million people, and I know some of them had to be MAGA, when they needed to line up to get their EBT, and it wasn't nothing there, he didn't care. So, you know, I think that people need to get back to prioritizing themselves and their families and their future instead of being dragged to hell by this dude who obviously has them in a cult.
Family, y'all got me over here tearing up. Iron Will says she thinks she's Mary J. Blige, she with the boots on and everything. Oh man. Who said she out here looking like the key the car type? Who said that? Hold on, I gotta scroll back up on that one. Hold on. He's out here really keying the car type. Let me see. God dang, I can't find that dang. Where the hell that whoever said it, shout out to you. God damn it, that was hilarious. Out here looking like the key your car type. That is it. Family, I want to go here before we get into this next statement here, the next clip. Ayo said that. Yeah, that's exactly. Shout out to Ayo for saying that, Debbie, because God, and now he said she looked like a Star Wars extra. Shout out to you. Kicking me with Miss D said she don't think it's gonna work. Well, I know my power of persuasion, so you know I wouldn't even second guess myself. However, you never know with these coons, so it takes a lot to get a coon out of being a coon. That's all I'll say. But I got a lot to give. So, you know, she might want to pull it together if she ever wanted a second shot. If I was to ever give her a first shot, that is. Let's go here, family. Give me 1 second. I got to pull this down. All right. Let's go here. Whoops-a-daisy. There we go.
The financier accused of sex trafficking underage girls. As more accusers come forward, his attorneys are proposing a mega $1 million bail package to get him out of jail. Our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yost, outside that jail. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. When Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, prosecutors made a very public plea asking for more victims to come forward. This morning, we can report several women with allegations have contacted attorneys. This as the judge in the case is weighing on whether to let Epstein out of jail. This morning, disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein pledging to put up his $77 million Manhattan mansion and a private jet as collateral to secure bond and get out of jail while he awaits trial. In their legal filings, Epstein's attorneys say that he would agree to home detention in Manhattan, GPS electronic monitoring, and would not seek or obtain a new passport. Prosecutors have called Epstein an extreme flight risk because of his vast wealth.
The charges are very serious, and they carry with them a maximum sentence of 45 years in jail, which to someone of Epstein's age is basically a life sentence. So we think he has every incentive to try and flee the jurisdiction.
But it's unclear, even to prosecutors, how wealthy Epstein exactly is. His career has taken several twists and turns, from being a math teacher at an elite New York prep school to becoming a Wall Street insider, then a private wealth manager. His real estate holdings alone are worth hundreds of millions. Besides his mansions in Manhattan and Palm Beach, he has an estate in New Mexico and owns 2 private islands in the Caribbean and a home in Paris. He traveled in private jets like this one, which according to flight logs from court records, he used to travel with celebrities and world leaders. A philanthropic trip to Africa in 2002 included President Bill Clinton, actor Kevin Spacey, and Chris Tucker. In civil litigation, it's been alleged that he used his planes to shuttle underage girls around the U.S. and overseas. Epstein has pleaded not guilty to the allegations in the indictment.
Now, Epstein's lawyers have maintained the government is trying to redo after that so-called sweetheart deal he received in Florida, where Epstein served only 13 months in a county jail, but was allowed to go to work 6 days a week. A judge will decide on Monday whether he gets bail. George?
Okay, Tom, thanks. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. So how does the judge weigh this?
Well, there's a presumption of bail in a case like this. I think that people sometimes forget that a defendant is presumed innocent, and there is a presumption the person is out until their trial. But in a case like this, you have to weigh things like not just how much money does he have, and therefore how much ability would he have to flee, but what are the risks of flight?
All right, family, I'm not going to play the rest of this because I thought that this clip was actually attached to this article that I'm about to read to you guys. So I'll just read the article since they're just giving basically just telling what was going on at that time. Let's go here, family. So Jeffrey Epstein donated to several Democrats through 1990s and early 2000s, as well as Republicans. But this article at the time is calling out the Democrats. So it actually lists some Republicans in here too. Let's go here. Jeffrey Epstein, a wealthy financier charged with sex trafficking, has been a prolific donor to various Democratic campaigns and party committees over the past couple of decades, including contributions to some who are now calling for the resignation of the Trump cabinet member who cut a deal for Epstein in a similar case more than a decade ago, and that was Alexander Acosta. He was the person who cut that first sweetheart deal where he was able to actually leave prison and have women brought to him in prison and all this other nonsense. I'm sure he did. One of his best buds was Clinton, allegedly. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure he faked his death as well. That's just my thought, especially because he had ties with the Mossad. And there's articles about, the Mossad breaking people out of prison and getting them to Israel. So yeah, that is absolutely a fact. Let's get back over here. One of the biggest beneficiaries of Epstein's contributions was then Senator hopeful Hillary Clinton, who received $20,000 from him in 1999 through her joint fundraising committee with the Democratic Party, according to Federal Election Commission filings. Bill Clinton's president campaign also received $1,000 from Epstein in 1992. The Clintons, and here's another thing too, because there's some people going around saying Bill Clinton never been on Epstein's island. I don't know how true that is, because Bill Clinton and Epstein were very buddy-buddy. Very buddy-buddy. But let's say he never touched foot on the soil of that island. It wouldn't matter, because Epstein would have young women on his plane as well from time to time. And you've seen how many times Bill Clinton was on that plane. All you got to do is check the flight logs. So even if he never touched soil on Epstein Island, he was still in the Lolita Express more than enough to know what was going on. Clinton's DNA is on that island. I believe it. I personally believe it. But I just wanted to say that because I've heard several people now say that, well, Bill Clinton never went to the island. And that's not really, there is nothing to prove that that's the case. Because they removed all the tapes. They removed all the pictures. And they haven't released anything to the public. But in the very same way, you got people saying Trump has never been to the island. We don't know that. And I'm being clear across the board. I'm being a fair assessor in this situation. Let's continue. The Clintons, along with President Donald Trump, were among Epstein's vast network of high-profile, rich, and famous people who helped the former Wall Street insider turned private wealth manager rise to prominence, in the early 2000s. Let's get into some of these folk. John Kerry, Hillary Clinton's successor as former President Barack Obama, Secretary of State, also was a recipient of Epstein's donations during his time as a U.S. Senator in Massachusetts in the 1990s and early 2000s. Now, watch what they say. Kerry's spokesperson told ABC News in a statement that Kerry hasn't had an active campaign account or political operation for more than a decade and did not know Epstein personally. Then why was your name in his book, in the little black book? Yeah. Kerry, that's a question that needs to be answered. If you didn't know him personally, why did he have your personal number? But I digress. Obviously, donations received in 1991 and 2002 were spent years before any of this came to light. Kerry spokesperson said, back when he did, back when he did have an active campaign, if donors were convicted of crimes, the campaign gave away those contributions to charity, and the small amount was likely given away in 2008. Epstein was just one of hundreds of thousands who gave to the campaign, not someone in our orbit. Safe to say, he's not in our Rolodex, but you're in his. He might not be in your Rolodex, but you're sure in his. Similarly, Hillary Clinton's spokesperson, Nick Merrill, told ABC News that JFC has been defunct for over a decade and referred to the Democratic Party. ABC News have reached out to the DSCC. That's the Democratic Senatorial Commission, whatever. Bill Clinton, through his press secretary, released a statement when Epstein indictment was unsealed on Monday, saying the former president knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pled guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those with which he was recently been charged in New York. Family, y'all believe that? Y'all was so damn buddy, but you didn't know what your buddy was up to? And y'all was buddy after his conviction in Florida. Many of these people was taking money from him after his conviction in Florida. After he got out of jail. That little cushy jail they sent him to. ABC News has reached out to representatives for Bill Clinton specifically about the donations, but they did not immediately respond. The decades-old donations raise broader questions about how such contributions should be handled when years later the donor is ensnared in controversy. Y'all took that money, and like I said, many of these people was taking money after he already got convicted. It wasn't until people started calling it out that these folks started deciding to donate the same amount that this man donated to them to all these different NGOs. Let's get back into some more of these. I want to get to, because I don't want to spend all my time on this article. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who had received about $22,000 from Epstein through his House and Senate campaigns and other affiliated joint fundraiser committees between 1992 and 1999, announced that his campaign will be donating the same amount he received from Epstein to anti-sex trafficking and anti-violent against women groups. Schumer also gave away his past donation from Harvey Weinstein. Let's continue. This is them saying they were calling for Alexander Acosta to basically resign over the plea deal that he cut. And they're saying if he refuses to resign, President Trump should fire him, Schumer said. So should you resign, Schumer? Because you was taking money for years, upwards to a decade, almost a decade. Ayo said Chappelle Show. Fifth, there are so many amendments that I can choose from. But if I got to choose one, I choose the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Shout out to Dave Chappelle for that. That's one of my favorite episodes, to be honest. Okay, let's continue here. Virginia Island's House Delegate Stacey Plaskett, who received a total of $8,100 from Epstein, and this woman right here, she is a box of rocks. If I ain't never heard her talk, this woman just make things work for herself, and I'm gonna play a clip to show that what I'm talking about. In 2016 and 2018 cycles, now notice that was way after his conviction and way before he got arrested. On Wednesday, announced she will be donating the same amount to Virginia Islands organizations that work with women and children, and called for, and notice how they keep talking about donating to the same organizations. How do we know that you don't have any ownership in those organizations? How do we know that the organizations in itself aren't kicking those dollars back to you in some sort of shape, form, or fashion? How do we know that y'all aren't talking about the same NGO? So the same NGO is just going to get a sum of upwards of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I'm just asking questions here. And call for other elected officials in the Virginia Islands to return any donation from Epstein. I want to be clear that I in no way supported the allegations and have confidence, really, in the Southern District of New York to investigate and prosecute the matter, Blacc said in the statement. This isn't the first time politicians have backtracked on Epstein's money. A spokesperson for Clinton, formerly Energy Secretary Bill Richardson, that's the man who also ran New Mexico at the time, the governor, who's also in Epstein's book, confirmed to ABC News that Richardson received $50,000 from Epstein during his gubernatorial re-election campaign in New Mexico in 2006. The spokesperson told ABC News that Richardson donated the same amount to local charities, charities when Epstein was first charged more than a decade ago, and has not received any donations from him since. Oh yeah, Oprah has been very quiet until they need to bring her out for the elections. Shout out to Key Prince. She said, whenever they say, let me be clear, they're blowing smoke up people's ass. Hey, and that's the same thing Sheila Jackson Lee used to do all the time. Now, let me be clear. Let's be clear. That's what she said. So every time I see this woman, she says something like that. Let's be clear, or let me be clear. So I 100% agree with you on that, my sister. 100% agree. Let's continue. Just last year, Epstein gave $10,000, and this article is from 2019. Just last year, Epstein gave $10,000 to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, but the party's committee returned the donation just days later. And that right there, I'll give them credit for. As soon as they got it and saw who it was from, it was like, yep, send that shit back. That's what they should have done. Not wait until they got called out as somebody who accepted campaign donations. Shout out to Black Flower. She says, NGOs are predominantly crooks. And I agree with you 100% there too. 100%. Aunt Maxine says that a lot too. Yep, absolutely. Let me be clear. Damon Reeves says, nah, it's let me be white. Let me be white. Oh, geez. Reparations Day says that's such a lawyer / political politician phrase. My brother is a lawyer and he used to work in politics. Excuse me. It says that shit religiously says that shit. Okay. Oh man. So when I get my law degree on, if y'all hear me say, let me be clear, you know that they taught us that in law school. All right. That's going to be the situation I see. By the end of law school, somebody's going to teach me, let me be clear. Let's be clear. Let's go here, fam. Let's finish off this. Without a second thought, the DCCC immediately refunded this unsolicited donation. The DCCC spokesperson told ABC. That's how you answer a question right there. You make sure they know, look, this was unsolicited. That Negro tried to give me money. And I told him to keep that shit. That's how it sounded to me. Epstein in the 1990s through the early 2000s also gave to various now former lawmakers and politicians, campaigns, including former senator from Connecticut and vice president nominee Joe Lieberman. Excuse me. Lieberman. Lieberman. I'm tripping the hell out. And former Rep Ricky Lazio. I forgot all about Ricky Lazio. Both of them are Republicans. Well, no. Lazio is Republican out of New York, who ran unsuccessfully against Hillary Clinton for Senate in 2000. So this just goes to show that the bastard was giving money to both parties, both sides. And that's it for this article. Family, these folks, like I said, Democrats are pointing their finger at them, and Republicans are pointing their finger at them, and I'm pointing my finger at Lieberman, huh? Lieberman. I wanted to call him Lieberman. Yeah, the Republicans are pointing their finger at the Democrats and say, look that way. The Democrats are pointing their finger at the Republicans and saying that look that way. And I'm pointing my finger at both of them, telling everybody to look at both sides. Absolutely. If you're gonna talk about this situation, you're gonna talk about this situation correctly. You're not gonna just try to isolate it to one side or the other. They're both heavily involved. Let's continue. Let's go here, family.
The bill to release the Epstein files is headed to Trump's desk. It's passing through the House and Senate. The Epstein release has been a roller coaster. Is the ride over? We don't know. We know Democrats think it'll damage the president, but now it's backfiring on them big time. Remember, Epstein was a Democrat. He was a Democrat donor.
No, he was an equal opportunist donor. Anybody he could put in his pocket, he gave money to. It didn't matter whether you were a Democrat or Republican. You didn't even have to be a politician. You could have been the head of Harvard, for instance. You could be in tech. And he was funding all of that. MIT. So let's be very clear. He was an equal opportunist when it came down to party affiliation. But let's continue.
And he hung out with Democrats and the liberal media at all of his homes. Larry Summers, who worked for both.
He hung out with Trump admittedly. He hung out with plenty of goddamn hell. Like I said, Alexander Acosta, that man's a Republican. And it was him who gave him a sweetheart deal. Now, Acosta loved to say that, someone tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, Epstein is an asset, so you can't just send him away like that. But regardless, it was a Republican that gave him a sweetheart deal. You see, we're not going to sit here and play left and right. We're going to call this shit right down the middle because that's how you're supposed to do it if you really care about this type of situation. But let's continue. I Am Kiera said they both look guilty. A lot of entertainers, shout out to our sister Key Prince, a lot of entertainers right and lefty, we're down with the fuckery. Absolutely, sister. Abso-damn-lutely. Jeff and his bottom B. Absolutely. Man, I can't stand this man on the screen, though. Just so y'all know, this is a quick little detour. This is Larry Summers. Who, under Bill Clinton, abolished the Glass-Steagall Act, which led to the housing collapse of 2008. under Bill Clinton. He was under Bill Clinton. He worked for him in his cabinet. And then Obama bitch ass, when he got in the office, he hired Larry Summers. And then they went and bailed out the freaking banks instead of bailing out the people who lost all of their money to the banks. I just want to remind people of who the hell Larry Summers is. I disdain this man. Let's continue.
Clinton and Obama was a pen pal with the pedo, even asking Epstein for dating advice. And now he's stepping down from his gig at Harvard. Oof. Bill Clinton was supposed to testify last month, but his lawyers are playing games. Careful, you can go to jail for ignoring a House subpoena. House Democrat Stacey Plaskett's also getting Epstein. She took thousands in donations from the predator, and he fed her questions during a congressional hearing. Raskin says it was a perfect phone call.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
How did he have her number if he was just a constituent? How did he have a direct contact number to a representative and was able to not only have her number, but contact her during a time where she shouldn't have had anybody contacting her? And she took the call. She took the damn call. Shout out to I Am Kiera. She said he looks greasy. Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. Looks like he just takes the grease off of his forehead and slick his hair back with that, to be honest. Shout out to Aquarius Minded, my good sister. She said all in cahoots together. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all just, at this point in time, once y'all went after Trump, all the gentleman's agreement that you guys had not to implement each other just went out the window. Before that, you guys were on code of keeping this silent. But ever since y'all went after Trump, and Trump is now weaponizing the DOJ versus y'all, now y'all pointing the fingers at each other and y'all crumbling on both sides. Huh. Money talks and bullshit walks, and you absolutely correct. And it walks hard, pause. It walks away, it runs away. And money talks loud. Shout out to Damon Reeves. All those mofos on those emails should get the Diddy work. Absolutely. Diddy got picked up for less. At this point, at what point do we say these people were colluding with each other? At what point? They're all coming out with the same type of talking points, especially people like Hakeem Jeffries. But I'm moving a little bit ahead of myself. Let's continue this.
But all these Epstein revelations are suddenly making hits.
Right to Hakeem Jeffries. Look at that man's face. That man got a face only a mother could love. And maybe not even that. But I digress. Let's continue.
Lips clam up.
Do you condemn Stacey Plaskett just talking to a sex trafficker during a hearing?
I haven't had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
But does that trouble you?
I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
Well, we just found out why Hakeem doesn't want to answer any questions.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein.
Hakeem's team sent an email to Epstein asking for money and inviting him to dinner.
Shout out to our brother Nightfall in the building. I don't know why when Nightfall, whenever you put something in the chat, it doesn't come up in my StreamYard. Like I have to see somebody tag you in order to see that you're in the chat. I don't know why. Let me check and see. Let me see on my phone. Let me see if. Yeah, you're in the chat on my phone, but just not in the StreamYard chat. But shout out to you, my good brother. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Let's continue.
Telling the pedophile that Hakeem was the Brooklyn Barack.
The Brooklyn Barack? Oh, you the Brooklyn Barack Obama. So you was trying to get some of that billionaire dollar. Interesting. Interesting. I can remember a time where you were very, very much so saying that, you know, we've always called for these things to be released. Does that include your emails? I digress. Let's continue.
Democrats and Epstein shared a lot of things, especially TDS.
I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me, but he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax.
They still can't get over their old buddy Jeff. Swalwell trusts the Epstein people more than Pam Bondi.
By nature of who is being forthcoming and who is not, I believe the Epstein estate over the DOJ right now.
What does that mean? I guess he still has trust issues after Fang Fang. And this just in.
New hoax alert. New hoax alert. New hoax alert.
The LA Times thinks Trump might destroy the Epstein files. How do you destroy evidence of a crime you didn't commit? Doesn't make any sense. Even CNN's fact-checking Democrats.
The president has not been accused of any crimes or wrongdoing as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein or these files, even with these emails being released. That's one thing that we need to make clear. But
yet,
one thing about
not been charged yet. Yes.
Yeah, there's no accusations though of any wrongdoing.
Notice this woman said there's no accusations of any wrongdoing and he hasn't been implemented. And then this woman says yet. He hasn't been implemented yet. This is conflicting on one damn network. She tells you the truth, and then she got to sow a seed to make sure you think that he can be implemented in this situation. And maybe he can. But yeah, for CNN to do it like that, yeah, that was, they were trying to cover his, they're trying to cover their own ass, to be honest with you.
Trump's tired of hearing the Democrats squeal about a dead pedophile.
You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan shares. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead. Quiet.
Trump's the most.
God dang, he said, quiet, piggy. Chill out, Trump. What's wrong with you? I thought you were the president of these United States. And when a reporter get under your skin, you just go the hell off. Quiet piggy. Damn.
Transparent president in history releasing MLK, JFK, UFO, and Epstein files.
What Epstein files? Pam Bondi came out talking about she was going to release the files. She had the files on her desk. They were going through the files. They were juicy. She gave empty binders to a bunch of damn people. and then turned around and said there are no Epstein files. So what files did he release? We're not going to play this game here, Mr. Waters. We're not going to play this game. Shout out to the boogeyman Bob in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family.
But the press is never satisfied.
Why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
No, it's not the question that I mind. It's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. You could.
Damn! Damn! It's not the question that I mind. It's your attitude. I think that you're a terrible reporter. Golly. Tell her how you really feel, Trump.
Even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
ABC doesn't care.
No more questions. Trump is not. Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. This man is entertaining to say the least. I will give him that. The man is entertaining. No more questions. Shout out to AO. Marjorie Taylor Greene disagrees. Yes. I am Kiara said, I heard this and it sounded like a major deflection. That's exactly what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. Aquarius might say, I actually like when he give his fellow WS that work. I'm with you there. I'm with you because it brings them back down to size. It makes them understand that, hey, check this out. Hey, come here. You. You're still a Nabisco. You are beneath me, Nabisco. And when Trump do it, it makes it even funnier because it's even more Nabisco on Nabisco crime. I don't want to hear nothing about black on black crime ever. Because there's a lot of Nabisco on Nabisco crime happening in politics alone. Let's continue.
About the victims. They spiked the Epstein story to get in good with the royals years ago, remember? Now they're trying.
Now that is true. ABC News absolutely did shut down Virginia Giuffre's interview because she was trying to put this information out there and they refused to do the interview with her just to make sure that they didn't mess up their business relationships. So that one, I will give him 100% credit on that one. Well, I'll give you 50% credit, partial credit. Let's continue.
Person and a terrible reporter. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
ABC doesn't care about the victims. They spiked the Epstein story to get in good with the royals years ago, remember? Now they're trying to resurrect it to drive a wedge between Trump and Republicans. Sorry, doesn't work that way. Just like the shutdown, this stunt's going to hurt them a lot more than it hurts him.
All right, family. So I want to go here because I'm saying like this is just a game for these people. They're the ones that Epstein dealt with. No, they're the ones that Epstein dealt with. I can name names. I can name names too. They're still in the same business. Everybody name names, and guess what? Let's get all those people up out of here. Regardless of party affiliation, if you really gave a damn. If you really gave a damn, get all of them out of there. And before we get to this next clip, let me remind y'all of the people that receive funds on the Republican side, since I did name some names on the Democratic side. George Washington Bush. I mean, not George Washington Bush, George W. Bush, excuse me. He received money. What's that what's that dude's name? D'Amato, Alfonso, I think it's Alfonso D'Amato. He received funds. We already talked about Rick Lazio. Bob Dole received funds. John, I'm spacing on that man's last name. Kasich, I think his last name is John Kasich. He received funds. Bob Packwood, he received funds. The freaking, what's the name of that organization they have for the Republicans? Members of the RNC committee receive funds as well. So let's be very clear. He was financing both sides. And that's kind of what they do. Neely Fuller Jr. already said, white supremacy likes to take all sides of the argument. So of course he would be funding both parties. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't even looked into the people in the Green Party that he probably funded. I'm pretty sure there's some people in the Green Party that got some Epstein ducats as well. He said mafia names. Yeah, man. And they're hard to remember because, god dang it, they're so damn out there. Plus, I'm bad with names. I'm just going to call it out. I'm bad with names sometimes. I forget. If I rock with you, I'm not going to forget your name. But when it comes down to situations like these, I tend to remember enough of their names, but I'm forgetting a whole lot of names too. Just to be honest. Now let's get to this next clip because they're going to start naming names on each other. Let's talk about the whole situation with Hakeem Jeffries. Here's the email right here.
Colleagues' coordination with Epstein. Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch. The files underscore why former President Trump must appear for his deposition. We've subpoenaed him. To date, the Democrats have done nothing to help us secure his appearance. I support full transparency. The Oversight Committee will continue to work to get the truth to the American people and to get justice for the victims. That's our goal of this investigation. With that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we reserve. The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Colleagues, coordinate.
All right, so I just want to play in comparison how Hakeem Jeffries was talking about the Epstein files and saying that, you know, they've always been behind releasing them until his name came up. Let's go.
Sunlight, of course, is the best disinfectant. And we've maintained from the very beginning that the American people just deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as it relates to the Epstein files.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch.
Sunlight, of course, is the best disinfectant. And we've maintained from the very beginning that the American people just deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, but neither one of you is telling the full truth. I was told when I was very young, there's always three truths. There's my truth, your truth, and the truth. And y'all not telling the truth. You're telling your truths. Just like Stacey Pleskett, thinks that she was going to go up there and just, you know, talk away her dealings with Epstein. Let's continue.
And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent.
Notice she said she got a text. Family, answer me this damn question, and it needs to be asked right now. How many of you have your representative's cell phone number in your contacts? How many of you are able to send a text message directly to, not going through her secretary, not going through the office, none of that? How many of you can text your representative right now and they will stop and drop everything they're doing in order to respond? I can answer that right now. Not one of you. Unless y'all doing business together. Not your boy. I feel it. Not any of us. Because if that was the case, then we would be getting things done for us right away. If these people move to help the Black community in the same way this woman moved to answer a phone call or a text from Jeffrey Epstein, then we would have reparations today. We will have transformative policies today. We will have an anti-Black hate crime bill today. So she's not doing good at explaining this away. Exactly, unless you're greasing their palms majorly. Let's continue.
Who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation.
It wasn't public knowledge that this pedophile was locked up in the damn 90s, 2000s area for pedophilia. Really? So you don't do any background checks on the people you're taking your money from? This is crazy for her to even say. You found out in 2016. Excuse me, you were taking money in 2016 to 2018. That was way after this man already had been convicted. Way after. But it wasn't public knowledge? All right, continue.
And who was sharing information with me. Now, I heard recently, and I got a text.
Who was sharing information with you? What kind of information was he sharing with you? I'm just curious. What kind of information was he sharing? Shalom and salute to Twin Pyramids in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. I'm just hella curious. All right. Let's go here.
Believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information and I was going to get information to get at the truth.
You believe he had information, but you said that it wasn't public knowledge that what this man was doing. But you thought you can get information out of him? It doesn't make any sense. Somebody's lying. There is a smell of bullshit in the air, and I can't shake it. Let's continue.
Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things. I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes. And as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
What? There were a lot of people that's done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can. You're not a freaking prosecutor. You're a sitting representative. What the hell kind of information did he have that you were so privy to getting? Oh, no. You got the game messed up. Exactly. The lies these shills tell. They will sit here and tell you a lie straight in your face. You watching them piss on your head, and they're like, hey, that's just rain. Shalom and salute to our sister, Astarte Jones in the building. Much love to you, my good sister. Thank you for being here. Let's go here.
Resolution 888, censoring and condemning Delegate Stacey Plaskett and removing her from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence for conduct that reflects the discredibility on the House of Representatives for colluding with convicted felon and offender Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Whereas Stacey Plaskett, the delegate representing the United States Virgin Islands in the House of Representatives, inappropriately coordinated in real time with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in a congressional hearing in February of 2019. Whereas Delegate Plaskett was actively coached by Epstein during the hearing, receiving instructions on specific lines of questioning, and was congratulated after the message by Mr. Epstein, good work. Whereas Jeffrey Epstein, the Speaker of the House is not in order.
The gentleman has the floor. The chair would again ask the body to please observe decorum and keep conversations to a minimum. The gentleman has the floor.
Whereas Jeffrey Epstein was a known convicted felony sex offender, having pled guilty and been convicted for procuring a child for prostitution and solicitation, a proselyte in a plea deal in 2008, and served a 13-month prison sentence. Whereas in the course of that investigation, the FBI compiled reports on dozens of confirmed minors who credibly alleged sexual abuse by Mr. Epstein.
Family, they trying to censure her, but it did not go through. It didn't go through. There is a motion to reconsider, but as of this moment, she has not been censored. Now, let's go over to CNN. We got to check out the panel of the Tether, Abby Phillips, and just watch how these people try to shoo the blame away from them from one side to the other side of the table, and they're pushing that right on back. Let's go.
Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything. There's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these
It's
things
not
out.
if that's true. It is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is,
you think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't. That's exactly the point.
Oh my goodness.
Scott,
this is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott, that's
10 years Donald Trump has been in public life.
embarrassing.
Come on.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously, Larry Summers was involved. Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey.
Notice he's naming all Democrats. And she's going to try to defend all Democrats.
If someone was...
Just real quick, I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black man's intelligence with the IQ test
That's what you heard.
I feel like I heard that. And so I just want to say something. This is what
It's ridiculous.
What it sounded like.
You want to make it
And
racial?
so-
Go ahead, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I think that
I have to agree with the Nabisco on this one. And here's why. And I rarely like to agree with Nabisco, as y'all know. But I have to. Why did you try to take this situation that had nothing to do with race and then put the black label on it in order to make him look bad? Why don't you just argue your point without bringing race into it? Because as you can see, Jeffrey Epstein was paying white folk, paying black folk. He was paying, I'm pretty sure, some Hispanics. Just make your point. Stop trying to make this about us. This has nothing to do with us. Well, I feel like you're calling into this black man's IQ and intelligence. He didn't say it like that. He said, this is an IQ test. Please do not fail it. And then Abby Phillips said the exact same thing. This is an IQ test. So she agreed with him. Now, it'd be very different if he said, you got a low IQ. Come on, don't bring your low IQ into this. That's very different than saying this is an IQ test. Please don't fail it. Even though both of y'all are wrong. But I noticed you did that too. That is, yeah. Leave us out of your problems. Same thing that the goddamn every other Democrat does is pull us into some shit we ain't had nothing to do with. Look at what's his name, freaking Brandon Johnson. Every time he's talking about these illegals, he want to bring up slavery. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does the same thing. Many of the Democrats do the same thing. As soon as they get into some hot water and they're being questioned about something, they make sure to tie it to black folk, to slavery. Exactly, my sister. Just fucking ridiculous. And I got to put the fucking in there. The fucking ridiculous. Let's continue.
By the way, we know each other and we're friends. I know this man. He's a smart guy, and we're having a debate. We're having a debate. Don't make it into so. We don't even know each other, but we do.
This actually relates back to the topic that we're having, Scott. There is a you're sitting here with so much confidence without seeing all of the documents that Donald Trump is innocent. There is a presumption of guilt that a black man walks around the United States with, that I have been watching Donald Trump navigate this situation with the presumption of innocence that is never afforded to us, right? This is the same guy that is trailing 29 rape allegations. And we have videos of him saying things like, grab him by the you-know-what. Just the very fact that he's connected to the country's most egregious pedophile, enough. That fact alone is enough for us to ask questions about if it's a disqualifying factor for leadership. So I just don't know why you're so fervent right now saying that I know for a fact he has nothing. Can we see the files and make that decision? Scott?
Look, here's what I think. It's been going on for 10 years. If there was a shred of anything to know about Donald Trump, we would already know it. What do we know? We know
I'm answering your evidence is not the evidence of absence.
We know that Donald Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein, and we know that he excommunicated him from Mar-a-Lago and his life. We also know that after Epstein was convicted, that powerful Democrats continued to stay in touch with Jeffrey Epstein. This is not a story about Trump. It is a story about powerful men. Many of them are in the Democratic Party. We're going to find that out. You can't wash away the politics.
We got to hit pause on this conversation.
Republican versus Democrat.
That's because every Democrat goes on TV and accuses Trump of having done something
any of these files, by the way.
Family? I'm going to say this. Shout out to Earl. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. Shalom. I'm going to say this. If you're not calling it down the middle, you're not calling it at all. I don't trust either side. I don't trust either one of you. And both of you are complicit in keeping these files under wraps. If y'all really cared, y'all would be pushing to really know or release to the public what was found on the island. When they just came in and the FBI just swooped in and took all the evidence, and we ain't heard nothing about those tapes. We ain't heard nothing about those pictures, the law books of the island, the sign-in sheet. I mean, whatever happened to the people who worked on the island? Were they ever arrested? No, they wasn't. These people are trying to play a game, and they sound stupid as hell to a person who understands that it's just a game. Let's go over here.
Having email exchanges does not mean that they did something
Yeah, like
criminal.
Larry Summers.
Okay, but I do.
Or Stacey Plaskett.
Yes.
The fact that they're having exchanges
exactly.
with Epstein.
That may not be criminal. I do think it is wrong. I mean, people like Deepak Chopra.
Does
like
that- I agree. Does your concern apply to Stacey Plaskett, member of
It
Congress?
applies. Did you just hear me?
across the board.
Did you just hear me
You
say?
think she should resign? Should
There
she
you
resign?
go again.
Scott,
There you go again. Trying to make this into a Democrat.
I think it's very.
She was being programmed by him
it's
after
very
the moment you
hypocritical
said we all
for
knew.
you to. It's
Well,
very
okay, she's gotta
hypocritical for
explain
you
it.
to call out the names of only the Democrats, but not apply the very same logic to everyone.
It's very disingenuous that you just literally said that he's calling out just names of the Democrats but won't apply it to everyone, and then you guys are also only calling out the name of Republicans and not applying it to everyone. So I think you're both in a world full of bullshit. Straight up. Shout out to our brother Iron Will. He said, "You gonna learn, church, at FBA, that accountability is only meant for us, and transparency is just a nice buzzword for the sheep." I agree. I agree. Shout out to our brother Curtis Price. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, church. The Epstein files will never see the light of day because too many powerful people will be going to jail. And that I agree with. That's why I said all of this is political theater. All of this is just for show. All of this is just for their constituents and the eyes that's on them. And as we speak, it's just broke by Dallas News. Let me see here. So Trump has officially signed the bill. Okay. Trump has officially signed the bill, according to Dallas Morning News. At 8:15, they released an article. And I didn't pull it up because I'm seeing it on my phone right now. The notification just came in. So apparently we're going to figure out what's going on. But I guarantee you, whatever they release is going to be heavily redacted. I can almost guarantee that. It's going to be heavily redacted. In the very same way that the first Epstein court case came out and it was almost all redacted. And it took years for them to release the unredacted version that was still heavily redacted. It makes, trust me when I say, they didn't sign the bill to release these things, but most of the stuff is going to be redacted. Shout out to the turkey. Thank you for being here. The turkey, excuse me. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. Both sides are definitely guilty, but Trump was hella close to Epstein, so you know he's deep in the files. I'm sure the files will be scrubbed down. Well, yeah, Trump was good with Epstein, just like many of those Democrats. Like I said, Bill Clinton was good with Epstein. Freaking Hillary was good with Epstein. So yeah, regardless of either side, it's going to be redacted. Let's be very clear about that. But let's let her continue.
Republican was he programming?
Listen, hold on. You're basically saying if you're named in these documents, I guess you're saying that they should be condemned. Anna is basically saying, yeah, let it all out. But you're the only one who's making a carve out for one person, and that's Donald Trump.
There's no evidence that he had any contact with Epstein after he excommunicated him, but we do have evidence that he was programming Democrat members of Congress. Why isn't that a big deal to you guys?
I guess the point is we just don't know.
We do know that. We absolutely know he was programming Plaskett.
We just don't know. Family, we ain't here to play this game with them. And this is just to make people think that one party cares more than the other party. When in every state, you have a lot of pedophilia and pedophiles that are being protected. Not just in California, not just in Texas or Florida, not just in New York, not just in New Mexico. In every state in these United States, they have a bunch of pedophiles being protected. Many of them by law enforcement. Many of them by judges. Many of them can be put on the 6 o'clock news with their face plastered, arrested for pedophilia, only to find out they got 6 months and 3 years probation, only to find out that they got a year and a half somewhere. Epstein wasn't the only pedophile getting sweetheart deals. So don't let these people play in your face, family. Because if it was that important for them, they would be mandating harsh sentences, the harshest sentences for pedophiles and people who collude to hurt children. Oh, that's another great name. Thank you for throwing that up, my brother. Anthony Weiner. What was on his laptop? And who did he do? He had business dealings with? Interesting. Yes. Shout out to you, my good brother AO. Thank you for putting that in the chat. They covered that all kinds of up. That whole laptop got covered them up. Their high-profile pedo ring operating throughout North America. That's a fact. Absolutely, my good brother. Shout out to our brother Damon Reeves. He said up here in the Lancaster, Palmdale, Little Rock area. You in California, man? Palmdale, Lancaster, Palmdale, those are 2 California cities. But then you said Little Rock. So you're not in California. I didn't even know y'all had a Lancaster, Palmdale out there by Little Rock. But anyway, I digress. There's a lot of those sick assholes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was in court for my cousin years ago, He was there for possession, $15K cash only. Before his turn, 5 pedophiles came up and all got released for no more than $1,000 bail. They didn't lower his bail though. And that's how the system has been working. Yes. Shout out to Willie Bonnie. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. Now they want us to choose between a Republicans and Democons. No think. Keep it moving 100 into our reparations. Amen. And I second that notion. Amen. Oh, you are in Los Angeles, Border Lake, Los Angeles. Okay. All right. I didn't know they had a Little Rock area. All right. And I'm from LA. So what part of I got to figure that out. Unsupervised probation, probably. Yep. Absolutely. But family, I'll end with this here. You know they running around here asking a question that I want you all to answer what you think will happen. Will Jasmine Crockett run for Senate? 3 questions loom as candidates filing period opens. What do y'all think? Do y'all think she's going to go from representative to Senate? I believe so. Shout out to V for Vengeance. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. As always, I believe so, though. Why? Because they removed all the money out of her district. And she ain't there to represent her people. So what is the next best step? The next best move for her would be the Senate. Let's be very, very clear about that. I feel like that is the only thing in her head right now, since she couldn't keep her district right. Since they carved up her district in the way that they did. She will do it if she gets donations. And I'm pretty sure there's a Democratic machine behind her willing to do that. I want to end with our good brother, the Blacc Receipt. Because of this comment here. In case y'all don't know, they are doing this bees in the trap trend. I'm not going to play the music because I don't want to get it struck. But this woman is always doing trends and all this other stuff. She never really acts like a goddamn adult. She never really acts like a dang representative. She's never really professional. She's always doing nonsense like this and thinking that she's garnering the approval of her constituents. Well, the Blacc Receipt said this bit everywhere but in my city of Dallas doing some motherfucking work. But I'm not supposed to criticize my representative. Family, none of these people are serious. None of these people are taking us serious. And until they do, we should never take any of them serious. Let them do their infightings. Let them release all the dirt. Let all the tea drop to the floor. And you just keep your feet up on the ottoman. Your drink nice and full. Your popcorn nice and buttery. and let it happen. Our brother Antithesis says that dude is an African. I'm pretty sure he is. He ain't got no goddamn swag about him at all. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, man. I tell you, all these people are just clowns. And you know how I feel about clowns. You know how I feel about them. You know what I gotta do. Whenever I find it. There we go.
Send in the clowns.
And who was it who said y'all would give it to her because she had big tatas? Sir, I see where you're coming from, but I don't know. That's I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me just leave that alone. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, I'm not going to take any of my energy and give it to them any further. We done said it so many times. We done made our position very clear, and they're trying their hardest in order to make us care about a bunch of crap that we don't care about. They're trying to point fingers at each other left and right. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Do that. Do that. And we're just going to sit back and watch our ass flounder like a fish out of water. If she was white, she would get an invite to the cookout. Whose cookout? Not ours. Not ours. Reparations, they said. That was me. And this is a bad video too. They look small. Oh, man. Shout out to Renaissance Woman. Thank you for being here, sister. Because I'm late. Who is this? Who is this woman, Harpo? Oh, yes. Shout out to Black Flowers. She said their behavior is insulting and demeaning. F them and they mama. Hey, my sister, I feel you. In translation, I don't need to translate it because you already said it clear.
Fuck him, goddammit, and fuck anybody with his ass. Yeah.
Family, I hope you all ain't my type. I feel it. I feel it. I want to make sure each and every one of you understand something. And I'm pretty sure you already understand, but for those who are new here, I'm going to make sure that I say this. Ain't nothing getting us off of our couch until you bring the funding out. Let me say that again. Ain't nothing getting us off of our couch until you bring the funding out. If I ain't seeing no dollars, no ducats in the very same way that you made it rain on all these illegals, you made it rain on Zelensky, you made it rain on everybody else, the Asians. We sitting right on that couch. So it won't even matter who's in the Epstein files because, you know, that means nothing to us at this moment in time. It's all a facade. It's all a political theater. It's all just nonsense. Exactly, my brother AO, aka Cut the Check. And shout out to Cut the Check. I seen you drop in the a second ago as well. A while ago, as a matter of fact. I just forgot to say it. But much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. I'd like to thank each and every one of you, all my mods, my members, and everybody in the chat, and those who's going to be watching this on the playback. We already understand it, and like our brother Earl just said, just like a two-headed snake. These folks ain't for us whatsoever. Whatsoever. And all their time is being spent acting like buffoons and pointing fingers left and right, right and left, as if y'all not in it together. Every one of you are colluding with each other. So, let's keep it real clear. Oh, that's sad to hear. Property tax in Chicago increased by 100%. Yeah, because of that punk. Let me stop. You know, Brandon Johnson, that bitch ass man. I can't wait until he get his final wake up. I can't wait. Shout out to Willie Bonnie once more. So true, FBAs is standing upon a quid pro quo. Something for something. Unity forever. Much love to you. Much love to you. And on that note, I think that's a good note to end with. Family, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. It's hump day. So, I hope everybody got over a hump or got to hump. Either way, I hope you had a beautiful day. And I hope you have a beautiful evening. And with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. It doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm off.